Mount Vesuvius is a symbol of Italy and especially of the city of Naples. The volcano is known as the mountain of misfortune. There is a good reason for this. A city built on its slope experienced a similar catastrophe to that which hit the city of Sodom. This city was named as Pompeii, which destroyed on account of its rebellion against Allah and its perversions. These pictures portray the face of the city which was once known as Pompeii. The city was a symbol of wealth and sort of a holiday destination of elite class. The architecture of the houses was breathtaking. The people of Pompeii were very wealthy, but instead of giving thanks to Allah for their wealth, they turned into a nation of deviants and gave themselves over to debauchery. There were other cities which also met the same fate as Pompeii. Naples and Herculaneum are some of them. However, it is Pompeii which has caught the eyes of the present generation. The archaeologists in their excavations found a number of artifacts, paintings which depict the life in Pompeii. It is evident that the city of Pompeii was known for two things. One was for the gladiatorial combat organized in its huge arena, solely for the amusement of the rich. The second largest arena in the Roman Empire after the Colosseum in Rome was of Pompeii. It was so savage that the combat had only one rule: to beat the opponent to death. The paintings reveal that in the early years of Christianity, that arena had witnessed deaths of a countless number of people solely because of their belief in God. This unbelievable savagery became the greatest form of entertainment for the people of Pompeii. The second main feature of Pompeii was that it was a scene of the most ruthless implementation of the system of slavery, which prevailed throughout the Roman Empire. For a slave to disobey an order, there could only be one end. They were treated as worthless objects bought for money. Yet the real oppression of the slaves by the nobles of Pompeii was something different. They had no idea what was about to happen. In an instant, hot lava from Vesuvius wiped the face of Pompeii from the earth. Scientists say that about 15 years before the eruption took place, there was a large earthquake that leveled parts of the city. It might have then been a warning from Allah.
They even had warnings of the oncoming danger. We now know that the earthquake 17 years before the eruption was a precursor to the
Many feared future earthquakes and never returned to their homes in Pompeii. The people at that time did not know that Mount Vesuvius was a volcano. That disaster remained concealed under the ground for around 2000 years. In the first quarter of 20th century, archaeologists began to unearth the remains from under tons of volcanic eruption. What they encountered was a piece of history 2000 years old, totally unspoiled. These are not man-made sculptures. The disaster had struck the people of Pompeii so suddenly that everything had stayed in its place, just as it had been 2000 years ago, as if time had stood still. Despite the terrible eruption of Vesuvius, nobody could flee, but just turned into stone where they stood. The faces and even the teeth in some of the bodies remained completely intact. The thing that almost all the bodies found had in common was the expression of surprise and terror. A family eating together were petrified at the exact moment. Even the food on the table has been preserved. The most extraordinary sight of this tragedy is this. How was it that thousands of people waited for death to come and claim them, seeing and hearing nothing? That dimensions of the catastrophe showed Pompeii closely resembles the incidents of destruction recounted in the Quran. When such incidents are described in the Quran, it is revealed how people were always struck down in an instant where they stood. Yes, they were frozen in their final act. The fast-moving pyroclastic flow caught its citizens off guard. The hot pumice, ash, and debris quickly hardened around people's bodies like a mold, preserving their final act. But more than 1400 years ago, it was stated in the Quran that Allah can freeze disbelievers motionless. Once again, the fact is revealed that Quran is the word of Allah. The Quran tells us in the following verse that there is no change in Allah's law.